Mika Hertz, thank you for joining us here at Whisky Experts. Uh, how long is it now that you're distillery manager for Ardbeg?
Just over 11 years, coming up 11 and a half years now, yeah, from
But
2007.
it wasn't your dream of your youth, was it? As you told me yesterday.
No, not at all. Never wanted to set foot in the distillery, to be honest. So I was going to want to join the Navy, maybe be a policeman. That was the two sort of things I'd sort of set out in my mind. And I got a sort of part-time job, which sort of meandered on for a little while, and ended up working in a distillery for a while, which was a plan for about a year. So nearly 40 years later, I'm still here doing it. So, but it's an enjoyable job now. It's good fun, and it's good to see people enjoying what you do. And the amount of people that come to visit the place and see it, enjoy what we make is, yeah, it's great.
So you're the custodian of the spirit of Ardbeg. You make sure that Ardbeg stays Ardbeg or develops in the way you envision it to be.
I think so. I think we're looking at the news with working with Gillian and them and the creation team. I mean, my job is to get that new make spirit as consistently as we can, and then coming up with new ideas. I like to think they come up with the ideas and we try to make it happen. Maybe it's a good way of doing it at times, so because we do lots of different little bits and pieces, so yeah, so looking at the distillery, trying to develop just run it as best you can. I mean, I was looking at myself as like a caretaker, because in a few years' time somebody else will be doing it, so we have something that's really special there, so and it's making sure that we can keep that and can keep it as special as we can.
You have an emotional connection to Ardbeg, don't you? So what's the soul of Ardbeg for you?
There's lots of different things doing about it, so we've got a great team there as well. We're in a lovely place. If you look at it, there's lots of different things. We're in a beautiful place. We make whiskey by the seaside. We live in an island. We've got a beautiful place. We've got a good team of people that make it as well, because it's not all about one person. It takes a team of people to do their job to make it. And we have that, I think, that sort of bond, and everybody has a bit of passion about it as well. And I think just want to try and make it the best it can be, to be honest. That's sort of, so.
And that's mainly through the core range of Ardbeg, because that represents the distillery.
Yeah, I think the core range is very important, because that's what we 10-year-old is what I would say is probably is Ardbeg, and so we sort of benchmark and look at everything from there, because that's 10-year-old is our bread and butter, if you like, of what we do. And then with the core range, so we with the things and the different woods that we use in the past to give us a different flavour profile. But the core range is very important. That allows us to do other things.
How did the special the expressions of the core range come into being? For example, the Ugadile or the Curry Racken.
Ugadile, and that was around about 2003, I think. It came out first as a bottling. So because Ardbeg was a 10-year-old, and they brought Ugadile into the range, and it's just looking for a different flavour profile. And we tend to look at the whiskies and tell stories about them, about where we are. Whether it be Ugadile or Kildalton or whatever we're making. I know it's just about in the area where we live, in this parish. So we use a lot of the area where we are to tell the stories and create that about them, and look at the profile with Ugadile being the water and the dark colour. We have that little bit of sherry wood in it, gives it more of a sort of earthier sort of taste, more so than the 10-year-old is more sort of briny, that type of character from it. So you're just looking to create something that's a little bit different.
Okay, and the latest addition to the core range that came after 10 years after the one before,
yes, yeah.
Why?
I think we're looking. I mean, we've had the three there, so it's just interesting to do something that's new and trying to develop something that's a new different flavour there for Ardbeg as well. So it's quite a complex thing to put together. When we have the gathering room and the gathering vat and the story it was put. It was said to Gillian's taking a lot of time developing it. But the whiskey was laid down before, because we had whiskey in stock, so you're looking at that, then creating that new flavour profile. It's still got the Ardbeg character, but it's got that little bit more complexity, and it just had a slightly different style.
So what were the cornerstones you set for the NO?
I think I know probably, to me, it's probably that little bit lighter so than the 10-year-old, so it's a little bit more that sweet complexity. I've got a sweet tooth, so it's coming close to one of my favourites, because I really like Ugadile, but the I know is sort of coming to that as well, because it's got that sort of little bit of sweet sort of spiciness that goes along in it as well. Still maintains that brininess, and it still has the smokiness as well. So it's got the Ardbeg signature, but it's just got that little bit of difference between the 10 as well. So
So, and are there any spaces left for new additions to the core range?
Oh,
or?
there's always spaces, and what happens down the line, is yeah, there's lots of different ideas. Gillian alluded to as well. We've done lots of different things in the past, looking to try and we said yesterday about that as well as we make whiskey for the future. So yeah.
There's a final question I have, and it's one we ask a lot of our guests in the interviews. If you would have to describe yourself as a whiskey, and it hasn't to be from Ardbeg, which one would it be and why?
If I describe myself as a whiskey, oh, it's got to be from Ireland. I'm an island boy, so it's sort of a little bit of down to earth as where as you come. So let's say we'll take an Ardbeg and call it a New Guild man. So I'm a little bit the island boy, a little bit sort of casual, earthy, easy to get on with, and hopefully it's a good place to be. So yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mickey, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.